Good morning, vlog. Time for another week. Morning, Chip. Good morning, Chewy.
And good morning, Saint. Go outside, puppies.
Let's go to work. Welcome back, vlog. Another week in the rapid recovery unit. If you guys watched last week's vlog, then you know it's been a really nice couple of weeks here. We'll talk more later, but I need to go meet the night team for sign out. Alright guys, I am done for the day. Not a lot of vlogging, kind of hard to vlog. I'm sitting in the unit the whole day. But if you watched last week's vlog, then you know I am in the rapid recovery unit. So essentially taking care of some of our post-operative patients, essentially managing them like an ICU or just a regular med-surg floor. I'm enjoying it a lot. I really like the people I'm working with. Hasn't been too bad. The schedule's a lot nicer, so I'm taking advantage of that. So someone commented on my vlog last week and said that the vlogs are feeling kind of repetitive, maybe even boring. And I kind of want to address that comment. First things first, I agree. I think the vlogs are definitely repetitive. We have to think about this in a few different ways. First off, I am kind of limited in what I can film in these vlogs. I can do my best to show you guys my life peri work, but I can't really show you guys things that I'm doing while I'm supposed to be working because obviously I'm supposed to be working. I can't be vlogging when I'm doing actual patient care. Now, regardless of that, I've always tried my best to still give you guys an idea of what my life looks like, but sometimes that's limited, whether because of the amount of time I have around my clinical duties or just around how exhausted I am and how much I'm able to give you guys in terms of making content. Also, in general, residency is kind of repetitive. That's kind of one of the points. A lot of my days look the same. I get to the hospital, I do anesthesia, I go home and prepare for the next day, and then I do it all over again. It's kind of hard to make things exciting when even I am feeling like I'm on this like hamster wheel. Now, with all that said, yes, there are definitely ways I can try to make the vlogs more interesting and more useful for you guys, and I'll keep on doing that. But yeah, some weeks it's just hard depending on my time and energy levels, and my priority is just to get something out for you guys so that you guys can at least maybe see a little bit of this life every week. Again, I don't think this comment was wrong. I actually agree, and I generally really appreciate your guys' feedback because again, this is my diary, right? You guys are the vlog. You guys are vlog. But like I said, this rotation has offered me a bit more free time. And so I think I'm going to spend the rest of the vlog trying to show you guys what I've been doing outside of this hospital life. All right, guys, before we get to the rest of the vlog, I want to tell you about this week's sponsor, ZocDoc. Now, as you all know, I tend to have very long days. I work super long shifts, sometimes even 24-hour calls. It's usually after those long call shifts that I feel very hyper aware of my body. My head hurts, my back hurts, and all the things that I've been putting off seeing a doctor about kind of just catch up to me. And even though I'm a doctor, I still have the same thoughts that you guys do. Like, is this normal or is something actually wrong? And even as a doctor, I am very guilty of putting off my own appointments. Not because I don't care about my health, but it's because I have the same frustrations you guys do. Calling office is annoying, being on hold is annoying, figuring out insurance is annoying. Trying to schedule these appointments with my resident schedule just feels impossible most of the time. And again, just like you guys, I push it off thinking, I'll deal with it tomorrow or I'll make my appointment next week. And so even as a doctor, I wish there was a way to just schedule my appointments without having to call anyone or waiting for offices to open. That's why using ZocDoc makes so much sense and why I'm partnering with them. ZocDoc is a completely free website where you can search and compare in-network doctors based on what matters to you, your insurance, your location, and your schedule. You can read verified patient reviews, look through provider profiles, and choose based on your own preferences. Instead of just getting an appointment with a provider that has an opening, you're actually choosing the one that's best for you. That's the part that really stands out to me. You can see actual appointment availability in real time and book it with just a few clicks. No calling an office, no being on hold, and a lot of appointments can be booked within 24 to 72 hours and sometimes even on the same day, which is huge if you wake up with some motivation and you're like, you know what, I should take care of this and go see a doctor today. ZocDoc has over 150,000 providers across more than 200 specialties. That includes primary care, dental, mental health, eye care, even urgent care. Again, all in one place and is completely free to use. So if you've been putting off an appointment because you're tired, busy, overwhelmed, or just hate the process of setting up the appointment, I highly recommend you check out ZocDoc. You can go to ZocDoc.com patreon.com/Sean Anderson and book a top-rated in-network doctor today. Again, guys, I feel the same way as you do when it comes to this stuff. And even as a doctor, I have to force myself to make these appointments that I keep pushing off. And if I can get myself to do it in my residency schedule, then so can you. Again, make sure to check out ZocDoc, and thank you so much again to ZocDoc for sponsoring this week's vlog. All right, so tonight we are going tricking. If you've been following the channel, then a lot of you guys know this, but I have been doing martial arts, tricking, and tumbling since I was like 14 or 15 years old. It's definitely gotten harder as I've gotten older. I didn't think I would still be doing a lot of these tricks at my age, but you spend so much time learning certain skills and you just don't want to let them go, so you keep on doing it. All right, let's head to the sesh. Yes! Thank you. Woo! Yeah! Nice! All right, guys, it's a beautiful day in San Diego, so I'm gonna go pick up my friend and we're gonna go on a run. All right, we're back with Shannon. Something you guys have seen in the vlog a lot is a lot of running because we've been training for our next marathon, Shannon's first marathon, my second marathon. It's in 3 months. Just got done with 5 miles. Shin splints are flaring up right now, which is very, very annoying, but look at that view. Look how nice that is. All right, guys, I am post-run and just made some lunch, a little bit of turkey, tenderloins, and edamame. My body's a temple. I'm so healthy. Just kidding. Yesterday I ate like crap. I think I had like McDonald's and Cane's, and this is my way of trying to balance the scale a bit. I'm getting a little bit of work done. So in line with talking about some of the other things I'm doing besides when I'm at the hospital, one thing I've been spending a lot of time on is my M&M. I have to give a presentation at our morning grand rounds, our morbidity and mortality conference, where you essentially talk about a case, not one where necessarily things went really bad. Like I think the name morbidity and mortality, that's a name that's just kind of been carried on, but it's not always a case that resulted in, someone passing away or having some crazy comorbidity from the case. Sometimes you just pick a case that had something interesting happen or just had a good teaching point. So the case that I'm going to be presenting in front of the entire department of anesthesia this coming week is about a case in which there was an intraoperative episode of torsades de Pons, and that's essentially a cardiac arrhythmia, very dangerous, can be caused by various drugs. You can have congenital syndromes that predispose you to torsades, and it essentially has this very characteristic twisting of the waves pattern, which is how it pretty much gets its name. And yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Besides that, I'm also working on my little project that I've kind of been talking and teasing a little bit throughout my vlogs, and unfortunately, I can't tell you guys about it yet. I promise I will. There'll be a certain checkpoint that once I kind of hit, I'll be comfortable sharing it with you guys and letting you know what it is. But it's pretty out of scope for what I've done with my life so far and the different projects I've worked on. And I've had to learn different skill sets. For example, creating a website. I now own a website, which again, when the time comes, I will share the website link with you guys. And, working on that part and setting it up. And then I've been working with contractors to get certain things done. And that's a new experience for me because I'm essentially using my own money to pay them upfront for something that I'm hoping is going to be worth it and maybe pay off later. And that's new for me. Everything I've done to make money has kind of just been like social media, right? Like you guys watch these videos, ads play, and that's about it. And I can make some money off that, but I don't really have to invest a lot of money into making this. I just maybe, put my time in. So this is new for me, is spending thousands of dollars up front on an idea that I'm passionate about and hoping that other people like as well. So I've been spending, I wouldn't say a lot of my time on that, but bits and pieces of my time, the same way I study or the same way I do other things, I will, work on that a little bit. And I'm in the phase where, again, I'm working with contractors and freelancers and trying to get that part going. And so it's a little bit of waiting as well. So that's a new experience for me, but I think it's been really exciting because I think it's kind of added this novelty to my life. I guess everything else I'm doing is kind of novel too, like residency, but I don't know, it's just refreshingly new. Anyway, I won't talk more about it, but I promise as time goes on, you guys are gonna find out about it. You guys will be the first probably to hear about it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep working on this, eat my food, and that's about it. See you guys later. All right, so one of my big priorities lately has been ramping up my studying for my Anesthesia Basic exam. The Anesthesia Basic is actually our first board exam. So we take it at the end of our CA 1 year, and then after I finish my anesthesia training, I'll take the advanced exam. I don't know if I have the best strategy yet. I'm essentially just trying to do a combination of reading and using different resources for learning, but then also just straight practice questions. You guys can see here, I've done about 40% of the bank, which I started like last week during the first week of this block. So actually a lot of progress in 2 weeks. And don't let these numbers fool you. I've actually been starting off with like easier questions because I tend to like to work my way up to the more difficult concepts. So I work on like, I don't know, easier like 80%, 90% answered correct questions first, and then I work my way up to the harder ones. My goal is to get through True Learn twice. So I'll essentially get through it on this first pass where I'm titrating the question difficulty, and then I go through my incorrects, and then I'll reset the bank and I'll redo the entire bank. But then I'll also double down on like reading and focusing on concepts that I have a difficult time with. Yeah, studying for boards is just another one of our responsibilities as residents outside of our clinical duties. So I'm currently going through some modules I have to get done for my program, and look at the setup right here. Got the modules pulled up right here. We got Pokemon Leaf Green right there, baby. Let's freaking go. Also, I think it's really funny that it says avoid energy drinks, and I'm literally sitting here with a Celsius. Something that never goes away with medical education is just endless amounts of modules that you feel like you always have due and are always running behind on. It never ends. So here's something else I really like to do with my time that I don't always get to show you guys in the vlogs. Playing Fortnite with my friends. Boys, let's go. I've always enjoyed some casual video games with my friends. We all have gaming setups. Over there's Eddie's setup behind me. They're all at medical school. I played a ton of Overwatch with my friends. Right now we're in like a Fortnite phase for the past year or so. And we're not great at video games, but this has just been a consistent thing that me and my friends do to stay in contact. And we play like at least a few times a week and just have this Discord channel open that we go in and out of. And I've been able to stay in close contact with a lot of my friends because of this, even throughout medical school and residency. So that's something I prioritize. It's something I can look forward to at the end of the day, if my schedule allows, of course. Anyway, let's get this dub. All right, guys, it is the end of the video. I know this vlog has been a little different from the other ones, but I was kind of serious about what I said at the beginning. I do think that residency is a bit repetitive, and in the context of these vlogs, it can be a little difficult for me to show everything I'm doing and everything that I am passionate about in the confines of having to film, but also get my work done as a resident, which is the most important thing. My identity really isn't just being a resident. It's always been multifaceted, and it's always been fluid and switched depending on the task in front of me. So sometimes my priority is being a resident, and that is what it is most times, honestly. Sometimes it's being an athlete and working on marathon training and acrobatics. Sometimes it's being an entrepreneur, working on YouTube and other side hobbies and hustles that I really enjoy doing. And sometimes it's even being a dog dad and just hanging out with these little guys and taking them to the beach or just hanging out at home with them, hanging out with my friends, being a good friend, playing video games, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things that I enjoy doing. There's a lot of things that I enjoy fitting around my lifestyle. And some weeks it's easier to do that than other weeks. Some weeks I can't do more than what I show you guys in the vlogs. But yeah, it's the life we chose. And again, I'm gonna keep doing my best to take you guys on this journey and show you guys just what this life is like, man. And honestly, my experience is different than other people's experience. No two residents or no two people on earth really are living the same life. So really take everything I do and everything I say with a grain of salt. Okay. Anyway, the dogs want to play, so I'm gonna go hang out with them for the rest of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching another vlog and for joining me in this pretty awesome life. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.